Our topic is understanding literary meanings in context and the use of critical reading strategies using summarizing. After going through this module, you are expected to, first, define and discuss main guidelines in summarizing. Second, apply strategies for summarizing. Third, distinguish between relevant and irrelevant facts in summarizing. And finally, write a good summary after reading a text. Before we proceed to our lesson today, let us have a snap test to check our prior knowledge. Please get your paper and pen and be ready to answer. Choose the letter of the best answer. Number 1. When you present only the most essential ideas in a text and contracting information into a short one and writes it into your own words, you are A. Previewing, B. Synthesizing, C. Summarizing, D. Classifying. Number 2. Which of the following statements about summarizing is false? A. It sums up bulk of information. B. It presents only the main idea and the significant details of the text. Letter C. It presents information concisely. And letter D. It includes reader's personal opinion. Number 3. The following are benefits of summarizing. Except A. It checks your reading ability and comprehension. Letter B. It makes harder for you to understand what you are reading. Letter C. It helps you discern the most significant information. And letter D. It helps you disregard unnecessary information. Number 4. Which should you not consider in summarizing? Letter A. Provide supporting details and examples. Letter B. Take note of the main idea and key points. Letter C. Rephrase long sentences with single word. And letter D. Use your own language to convey your ideas. Number 5. The following are key questions to ask and answer in summarizing. Except A. What issue is the writer focusing on? Letter B. What is the writer's stand on the issue? Letter C. What evidences does the writer present support the central argument? Letter D. What impact does it have to the viewer? Check your work with these answers. Number 1, C. Summarizing. Number 2, D. It includes reader's personal opinion. Number 3, B. It makes harder for you to understand what you are reading. Number 4, A. Provide supporting details and examples. And number 5, D. What impact does it have to the viewer? In your previous lessons, you learned about various critical reading strategies. Can you still recall them? Let's refresh your mind with this simple activity. Draw a star in which you will write at least 5 critical reading strategies used in understanding literary meanings in context. You may pause this video for a minute to think about your answer. Here is the list of critical reading strategies used in understanding literary meanings in context. You may check your answers now. I hope everybody gets a good score. Remember, as a good reader, you have to take note of these basic strategies for critical reading. Now let's begin our lesson with this activity. Try to retell the lyrics of this song in one sentence. You may pause this video and try answering. This song, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when the skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away. Can be expressed in one sentence as, the writer hopes that the person who makes her happy is there to stay. If you'd come up with an answer, let me ask you the following questions. Number 1. What technique in reading have you used to come up with the answer? And number 2. What technique in reading does it refer to when the reader critically focused on the main idea and the supporting idea in the text? Effective reading requires a critical eye approach to text, evaluating what you are reading for not just what it says, but how and why it says so. Effective reading is when you evaluate the sources and understand how and what you are reading. Being an effective reader often involves being able to assess your own habits, working towards improving your critical reading skills. When we say critical reading, it means you reflect on what the text says, what the text describes or argued, and interpretation of the text. One of the critical reading strategies that is especially helpful to understand the content and structure of a reading selection is to apply summarizing. A summary is a short version of a longer original source written in one's own words. Its main goal is to present a large amount of information in short and cohesive sentences that includes only the most essential ideas of the original text. Summarizing synopsizes a selection's main argument in brief. Thus, it teaches readers how to discern the most important ideas in a text and how to ignore irrelevant information, and also to integrate the central ideas in a meaningful way. Therefore, summarizing a text is a vital skill for your English reading. If you can't make a short, clear summary of the main ideas of a text, then you almost certainly have not understood it fully. Summarizing can be used to sum up bulk of information, to present information concisely and cohesively, to state only the main and most essential points without detailed explanation of the original text. In summarizing a text or a passage, it is important to follow some guidelines. They are as follows. Number 1. Begin by reading or listening to the text selection. Number 2. Take note of important keywords, main points or arguments, and topic sentences. Number 3. Form a brief outline of the passage and use it to write a summary of the passage. Number 4. Use your own words or language to convey ideas. Number 5. You may use keywords or phrases to identify the main points from the text. Number 6. Write in simple and understandable English. Number 7. The summary must be objective and written in third person. Number 8. Rephrase long phrases with single words. Number 9. Write a rough draft, edit, adjust the length, and finalize. And finally, follow the original organization of the passage for accuracy. Take note that summaries are not a place for reader's opinion, background knowledge, personal information, technical language use, irrelevant and unnecessary information from the text, and examples and illustrations and quotations from the text. As I've said, your summary should include only the main ideas and key points and should not include supporting details. The main idea is what the text is about, while key points are arguments or information that is used to support the main idea. Key points may be developed or elaborated with supporting details. These are information that explain, define, or prove the main idea. Remember that a summary contains only the major ideas and necessary information. Here are possible questions to ask and answer when reading a text or a passage that can help you in summarizing. Number 1. What issue is the writer focusing on? Number 2. Does the writer take a clear stand on this issue? Number 3. What is the writer's thesis, if there is one? Number 4. What is the writer's purpose for writing? And number 5. Who is the audience for this writing? Number 6. What is the writer's tone? 7. What evidence does the writer use to support the essay, thesis, or central argument? Does the writer include enough evidence? And number 8. Does the writer consider, address, and or refute opposing arguments? One of the strategies in summarizing is the use of the acronym TAAMIO. Number 1. What kind of text? 2. Who is the author? 3. What action or event happened? Number 4. What is the main idea? And number 5. What are the important details? And number 6. What is the organization of the text? Okay, let's practice. Take a look on the given example. Here's the text. You may pause this video if you need more time to answer. Here is an example of inappropriate summary of the text and its justification. Computer education is growing fast. Blogs are influencing how we study. People received materials from universities for a long time to be able to take classes online. MOOCs are the only ones thousands can take at a time. It is inappropriate because summary is almost as long as the original text, which is a characteristic of a paragraph. The summary needs to be concise and short. And this is the appropriate summary of the given text by stating the author, the main idea, and important details from the text. According to the Voice of America article, a fast-growing MOOCs movement allows thousands to take online classes at once, changing how we learn. It is appropriate because it contains the main idea and the key ideas from the original text. Let's take note that the appropriate summary keeps the original main idea and is much shorter than the original text. Here is another example. You may pause this video if you need more time to read. As you can see, the first two summaries are inappropriate. The first summary is too short and it does not include the key ideas. The second summary is also inappropriate because there is too much unnecessary stuff and the main idea is not clear. But the third summary is appropriate because it includes key information such as kind of text, main idea, and the key idea. And it does not include unnecessary information. It is in a complete sentence. Now let's work on some exercises to test whether you gain comprehension on the lesson discussed. You can read the passage below and look for the main idea, keywords, and supporting details about the topic and fill in the table. Then write one sentence summary on the line. You may pause the video if you need more time to answer. You may press the play button again to continue answering. Here's the text. Here is the possible answer for the main idea, supporting ideas, and the summary of the text. Here is text number 2. You may pause the video if you need more time to read. Here is the possible answer for the main idea, supporting ideas, and the summary of the text. Let's practice more by answering the next activity. You have to read each passage and accurately summarize the text in your own words. Your summary must describe all the key ideas from the text. Do not include opinions or personal information in your summary. You may highlight or underline key ideas in each passage. Here's text number 1. And text number 2. And finally, text number 3. If you have summarized the text this way, then you got it right. If you have summarized the text this way, then you got it right. Let's now wrap up our discussion about summarizing. Be able to write 3 things you've learned, 2 things you want to know more about, and 1 question you have from the lesson discussed about summarizing. To reflect on the lesson learned, fill in the table by stating briefly the importance of summarizing in the following areas. Number 1, for academic writing. Number 2, conducting a research study. And number 3, storytelling. To measure the amount of learning you have acquired in this topic, please answer the 5-item multiple choice post-test. Choose the letter of the best answer. For questions 2 to 4, choose which best expresses the main idea of the given text.